Wildfires are scorching the West Coast, leaving behind a path of death and destruction.
About 1 million species of animals and plants around the world are now at risk of extinction.
Canada's last fully intact ice shelf has also become a casualty of climate change.
Experts say there's growing evidence that humans will face catastrophic heat waves.
Climate change mainly falls under the environment pillar of sustainability. Therefore, it is one of the biggest challenges to achieving sustainable development. On top of that, it can threaten to drag many people into poverty and cause many economies to decline. Therefore, climate change has a toll on all pillars of sustainability, making sustainability even harder to achieve. It was concluded that there's at least 95% chance that human activities are what's warming our planet and causing climate change. For instance, industrial activities have led atmospheric carbon dioxide concentrations to rise from 280 parts per million to 414 parts per million in the last 150 years. So what can we do? How can we decrease our negative impact and save our planet? We first need to be familiar with the concept of a person's carbon footprint. According to the World Health Organization, a carbon footprint is the measure of the impact your activities have on the amount of CO2 produced and is expressed as a weight of CO2 emissions produced in tons. Thus, emissions such as methane, nitrous oxides, and fluorinated gases are measured in terms of carbon dioxide equivalents. In fact, carbon footprinting is a common measurement accounted for by many industrial companies and businesses, as the carbon footprint value identifies the company or business's areas that contribute most to emissions and hence global warming. One thing to note is that your carbon footprint is not equal to your environmental footprint. From the name, it is clear that carbon footprint measures the amount of carbon or other greenhouse gas emissions released after anthropogenic activities are performed. On the other hand, environmental footprint measures the amount of natural resources used or waste produced from these activities. To dig deeper into these aspects and to get a more holistic idea about your environmental footprint, a life cycle assessment on your activities should be conducted. However, at the beginning of a sustainability journey, measuring your carbon footprint is a great way to start reducing your total footprint. So how do we calculate our carbon footprint? There are online calculators that can approximate your carbon footprint for you. Here are 3 websites provided by Worldwide Fund, TerraPass, and the UN respectively that can calculate your personal carbon footprint. The TerraPass website can even calculate the carbon footprint of businesses and events. These websites will ask you to approximate the distance you travel by car, plane, and public transportation, your house energy usage, the composition of your food diet, how you handle waste, and many other questions about your lifestyle in general. Go ahead, take the quiz and determine how much your carbon footprint is. After doing so, remember to look for opportunities to reduce your footprint. Reconsider how often you travel, what you put on your plates, how much energy and money you are spending, and how you live your day-to-day life. But what if you can't avoid doing things that contribute to your carbon footprint? Here's a solution: offset your emissions. You can decide to offset all your emissions or aim to neutralize the impact of a specific activity, like flying on a plane, for example. To do this, you can purchase carbon offsets that are used to invest in sustainable and carbon reduction projects. For example, the TerraPass website used to calculate carbon footprint also offers personal carbon offsets. All you need to do is enter the amount of CO2 emitted in increments of 1,000 pounds for the activities you do, and the cost of this quantity will automatically be calculated. This money donated will be used to support TerraPass's projects that include landfill gas capture and farm power generation. Check out the website below for more information. If you don't exactly know how much carbon equivalents each activity you do emits, the Carbon Fund website approximates the amount of CO2 emitted based on each activity you do according to the type of car you use and its mileage, the number of miles traveled per plane, and even the square foot of your house. According to what applies to your activity, the offset cost will vary. For instance, if you drive a compact or mid-sized car that can travel 29 to 40 miles per gallon, you would pay $36.28, whereas if you have a luxurious or full-sized car that can travel only 19 to 28 miles per gallon, you would pay $54.42, because the CO2 emitted per year differs by around 4,000 pounds. Check out the carbonfund.org website for more details and information. So come on, let's start our journey to sustainability by determining our carbon footprint, reducing our emissions, and offsetting the carbon equivalent emissions that can't be avoided. Watch my next video to learn about 5 easy habits that can lead to a more sustainable life. See you soon!